We have an important reformulation to talk about today. Why is it so important, Haley? Let me tell you. It's a reformulation of a foundation that was already a good foundation. So of course, I'm talking about the Tarte new Amazonian Clay foundation. I tried this one out like a few moons ago, and I remember liking it. I just had like a little sample of it, so I only tried it once. I remember it being like a nice foundation. I liked it better than their Shape Tape foundation, which was also a full coverage matte foundation. So yeah, whenever I saw that they were doing a reformulation of this, I was kind of like, why though? So let's check it out. I of course got the shade 20B Light Beige, and I of course ordered it from QVC so that I could get the free brush. This foundation brush seems, I dropped it on the floor and so now it has like dog hair in it, but this foundation brush seems like more promising than the stupid Tarte C1. This one was too big, too flat, too not good. My face is primed and sunscreened, which is why it's so shiny. So let's do some mattifying, because the Amazonian Clay 16-hour full coverage foundation has a soft matte finish with poreless technology. And that's really all that it says on the box as far as like, you know, anything about it. So they definitely changed the bottle. I didn't have a full size of the previous Clay formulation, but I do know that this bottle is different. Looks nice, has a thing on it, love that. And since it's full coverage, I'm just gonna start with a little bit, very stiff, whipped-like texture. Neato burrito. I kind of like the like wood, like bamboo type accents. Okay, yeah, this brush seems way softer and it has that like little bit of a dome. I kind of like my foundations to be a little more domed like that. So anyways, let's give it a go. I of course have a sponge on hand in case things don't work out. And actually, since it's like full coverage, this foundation brush is great. Much softer, and it's applying things a lot nicer. But since it is so full coverage, I probably will go back around and blend, just make sure everything's really blended into the skin with my sponge. So this definitely is not the brush that I would have voluntarily picked up to apply this foundation with. It's just, it's pretty big, so it's kind of hard to get in the nooks and crannies of the face, you know? It's soft enough, but because this foundation is so full coverage, it's taking like extra blending on the part of the brush that I feel like a sponge would do just a lot easier, you know? So I will go back around with a sponge in a minute, but it's like, it's definitely soft enough, comfortable on the face. I like it and I'll use it again, but it's just something that I would use more with like a tinted moisturizer or just, you know, something like lighter coverage. Ooh, the 20B is getting to be a little bit light for me, maybe. Of course, it's the summer, so my skin is starting to pick up some color. I do spend a lot of time outside, and I will be outside this evening. Okay, work. I didn't need a ton of product to get everything that I needed. All right, so we are just gonna go around and do an extra blending. Okay, great. It was super easy and it blended out really, really quickly and easily. I'm like struggling over here by my nose. I like, you know that feeling you get when you feel like there's a hair on your face? That is how my nose is feeling right now. And I'm like, why? Stop, please. Oh my God. It's like driving me crazy. There's nothing there though. And I'm only gonna lightly powder today so we can really get a feel for like how it can do on its own. So let me finish up and I will be right back. And I'm back. And I'm also way, way out of my comfort zone with this lip color, but it's Patrick Ta, so we're dealing with it and it's totally fine. As far as the foundation goes, I've already been sweating. Like, I don't know why, but whenever I film, I just get so sweaty. I don't know if it's because of my lights or because I'm talking and moving. It's probably a combination of the two. But anyways, where's my mirror? Mirror. Okay, so everything looks good. It does look very mattified, but not too much. It's not like cracking or collecting anywhere. Everything looks smooth. Yeah, so far so good. We live for that. Okay, do you see how I got foundation in my hair though? I will check back in later and we will see how it goes. I have high hopes already. So, wish me luck. Okay, I have like every light on in my car. It's kind of dark right now. I just got home. I'm gonna, I think, wear it again tomorrow because I really put it through the ringer today. So I sometimes teach small children how to ride horses. And so I was out there this evening for about 4 hours and it was 95 degrees, 95% humidity, and that's just how it gets here in the summer. I normally don't like to wear makeup when I go out there. Like if I know that I'm gonna be outside and working and like sweating, I just usually take my makeup off beforehand, but I procrastinated doing my makeup today for so long that when I finished, I had to go because I was already late. Anyways, that's a lot of jibber jabber, isn't it? It's a lot of unnecessary talking. But I'm like confused because it still looks, hold on. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look like in my beauty lights when I get inside because it looks fine. I'm shocked. So I had a little issue with my lipstick, but I mean, I was sweating. The only thing really that I'm seeing is that I've got like a little bit of creasing happening like right here. And you can definitely see that like right there. And then a little bit over here as well. But like over my chin, my forehead, it's kind of rubbed off on my nose, but not too bad. Like, for how much I was sweating today, like I sweated. Like every pore that exists on my body had sweat coming out of it. Like I was like full out sweating today. And so for it to still look as good as it does, I'm kind of like a little shocked because I was sweating a lot. Like a lot. I think I'm gonna just like take it off immediately when I get inside, but I'm gonna wear it again tomorrow when I have like a little bit more normal of a day because I was inside for several hours, then I went outside for several hours and was sweating, and then I drove home. It's about a 30-minute drive, so I had like 30 minutes just sitting in my air-conditioned car. I didn't wipe my face off because why? That would only make sense and be the smart thing to do for my skin. But I guess, I mean, I do still have makeup on. I'm concerned that it might be drying. It might get kind of dry. So that's why I'm gonna wear it again tomorrow when I'm not gonna be outside as much. So, I'll be back. Hello, my little harlots. How's it going? I'm great. Thanks for asking. Okay, let's talk about this Amazonian Clay foundation. First, though, let me say this about the brush, okay? The brush is really nice. It is the right softness, shape, density, all of that good stuff for what I like in a foundation brush. It's just not the brush that I would ever reach for to apply this. I feel like my application wasn't very precise whenever I used it to put this one on. So I wore this again for like 2 days after you last saw me and used a sponge both times to apply it. And I found that it blended into the skin so much better and so much easier just using the sponge. And the texture is such that you don't really have to worry about your sponge absorbing too much of the product. I think that this brush would have been fantastic for the Tarte Hydroflex, whatever, the C foundation, the last Tarte foundation I tried. That would be a great brush for that one. And then this brush would be a great brush for nothing. So as far as the foundation goes, the texture is such that you only need like a little bit of product. Like a little bit of product goes a long way. And if you use a sponge, it blends out and blends really nicely into the skin and gives you a nice matte finish. So although it does say matte, or it says soft matte rather, It's pretty matte. It's like a matte. It's like, I'd call it like a flat matte. It's like a full coverage matte foundation. I definitely like it better than their Shape Tape foundation. That one was like super matte. This one, not gonna dry you out quite as much as like the Shape Tape would. So if you have ultra oily skin, I think this one or the Shape Tape would work for you. But as far as this one goes, amazing wear. It wore so good. So like that first day when I did the check-in that y'all saw, you don't even understand how much I was sweating that day. And sometimes when I'm working, I'll like take my shirt like this and like wipe my face off. And I was like half aware that I was wearing makeup and half not thinking about it. And I took it and I went like this down my neck, and some of it came off. And I was like, oh man, the makeup came off. But then I was like, Haley, you're sweating and you rubbed it. So of course it came off. But even though some of it came off, like looking at it at the end of the day, it all looked fine. Like I was shocked. I was shocked at how well intact it stayed, given how much I sweated. That being said, the day after that, when I applied it with the sponge, I wasn't outside quite as much. I did go outside a little bit because it's like, you know, inevitable living on the planet Earth. You have to go outside sometimes. And I did find that it was maybe a little too drying for me that day. And then the next day I wore it, I was kind of like in between, inside, outside some, but not quite working as much as I was that first day, not inside quite as much as that second day. And I found that it did pretty well. I have a little bit of trouble with it settling like right around here, and a little bit in my chin, but it really was not that bad. So if you're in a situation where, you know, maybe you have ultra oily skin, or you're gonna go to like an event or something, like maybe you've got a wedding to go to that's outside in June for some reason, this would be a really good option because it really, it did a good job. It is full coverage, so it's not like my first choice for summer. In the summer, I just don't want heavy makeup on my face. And it's not that it even feels heavy, it's just that like, I feel like there's more room for error in the summer when it comes to your makeup, especially because if you're like me and you're inside outside a lot, then it's like the atmosphere for your skin is gonna change, right? So I'm outside, I'm gonna sweat, I'm gonna produce more oil. If I'm inside, it's probably gonna be a little bit drier. I'll still be producing oil, but you know what I mean? Am I making any sense? I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling, but good. Not my new holy grail. Frankly, I kind of like the Tarte Hydroflex foundation better. I wish I knew where it was. I haven't been able to find it. I don't know where I put it. I like cleaned my desk off and now I don't know where like a whole bunch of stuff is. So anyways, I think I like that foundation better, and under a mattifying powder, that one's fine for the summertime as well. It maintains a really nice natural finish and it didn't settle in those areas that I pointed out quite as much as this one did, but this one wore fantastic. It maintained its finish. It's a good matte, full coverage, all of that. So everything that it says about itself, it is for sure. If you are someone that liked the original before the reformulation, let me know what you thought about it, and if you're gonna try this or if you have tried it, let me know what you think about that as well. Will I wear it again? For sure. So for like those occasions like I told you about, like I think a wedding is like a good example. Like if you're gonna be outside taking pictures, you want something that's gonna be full coverage, is gonna hold up, is not gonna like melt off or flake or patchiness happen, words, sentences, that type of a thing. This is really good. Like again, for how much I was sweating that one day, I was shocked at how well intact my makeup stayed. So there we go. Let me know what you guys think. As always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Okay? Bye.